Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I am very, very happy to be here because today is one of my favorite days, 3D Thursday. I love, love, love making 3D projects. So I hope that you will have fun watching me make it. This is our box that we're doing today. You can see the cool bear on the front. And when you open it to the inside, you have 4 Ferrero Rocher chocolates. Like, what guy would not want this present, right? And then in here, it says for all the great things you do. And it's a guy gift. You know, sometimes they help you move. They help you take stuff in their truck. They take things to the dump for you. They do lots of fun things, and you can reward them. This says to a great guy. And all week, I've been using the On the Horizon bundle. If you purchase it together, you save 10%. So it's worth getting as a bundle. And I have been using this amazing stamp set called Wildlife Wonder. I absolutely love it. This bear, this wolf, this owl, they're just beautiful. All the sentiments that are attached on there, it's definitely a keeper. And I have used that for the main part of my card today. Of my box today. I have paired it with these circles right here that are on the front that say to a great guy. And then on the inside, I've used this frame right here. Now, these are on last chance, so I'm not sure if you don't hurry to my online store, if you'll be able to get them. Like I said, they're last chance. First come, first serve. When they're gone, they're gone. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this fantastic Ferrero Rocher box of chocolates. I love making treat boxes. It's probably my favorite thing to do. So, of course, I have to bring out my handy dandy Simply Scored tool. We're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 9.5 inches by 5.5 inches. We're going to use our scorer that comes with our board here. And on the long side, which is the 9.5 inch length, we're going to score at 1 inch. At 4 inches. At 5.25 inches. And at 8.25 inches. So 1, 4, 5.25, and 8.25. We're going to rotate clockwise. And then we're going to score on the short side at 1.25 inches. All the way down. And at 4.25 inches. All the way down. So let's move our board out of the way. All right, so we're gonna burnish it. That's the first thing that I always do whenever I make a box. After I've made all my score marks, I break down the fiber in the cardstock and I run my bone folder along all of the marks that I made so that they get nice creases. All right, so it looks almost identical, and it is almost identical. This side here is a little shorter than this side. So this is the 1 inch mark. So there's my 1 inch, and down here it's 1.25, 1.25. So make sure that your 1 inch, that's your top of your box. That's the part that's gonna go inside. This is the 1 inch portion. The box itself is 1.25 inches all the way around. So we're going to start trimming away what we need to trim away. And I like to open the box and explain as I go. So if this is the top and this is this panel, look, we got rid of these two. So let's just get those out of the way right now. And I like to use a thick bladed scissor. So I'm just going to come in here. And I'm going to cut right on that score line and right on this score line. And that one can go bye-bye. And this one can go bye-bye. All right, so those pieces, gone. Now you can see we're starting to get there, right? You can see I angle cut them. I'm gonna do that all at the end, okay? So now we're gonna cut in, and in. So we're gonna start here, we're gonna cut in. I like to cut on both sides of the score mark because I like, and I pull away the paper because I like to have a nice gap. It makes it a lot easier when I'm putting my box together, so I don't have any bulk where I have those score marks. So I just cut on both sides and then I tear that away. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Come in from the side, pull away, come in from the side, pull away, one more, come in from the side, and pull away. So that is our box, okay? This is this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and angle cut these. So I wanna just leave a slight angle on both of these sides here. And I'm also gonna trim down, I'll show you when I'm done angling. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to, oh, sorry, I moved the whole camera. Oh my goodness, let me stand up and make you sure you're lined up again. Sorry, guys. Woo, it's always an adventure when you're with me. How about that? Sorry if I made you dizzy. I have my water in front of me and I just had to grab it, but I didn't realize that I was going to get it caught on the cord of the camera. So I angle cut this corner here, and I'm going to angle cut this one. And then I'm going to angle cut these for the top. Okay. And now I just need to trim these down slightly. I don't want them to touch all the way. You can see how they're cut down. So I'm just going to cut about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch off. And it doesn't matter if they're not identical or exact. If you want to put them in your trimmer, you can. I never do. I just eyeball it. So now we have all these little scraps, and I'm going to get rid of those. Again, I apologize for moving the camera. Oh my goodness. Life is crazy sometimes. Just got to roll with it. At least it's real. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue everything down. Before I do that, I'm going to show you that we're going to do this bottom section of the box first. We're going to leave this alone. These tabs are going to come in. They're going to get glue and they're going to get turned in. That's why I didn't angle cut those. I only needed to angle cut the ones for the 2 sides of the lid and the top of the lid. Okay, so we're going to use some wet adhesive. I'm going to work on the back first. So I'm just going to put adhesive on this tab. And then I'm going to bring that in and I'm just going to line it straight up. I'm going to put it in place here. I'm just going to hold it for a second till my glue grabs and really adheres to that tab. I'm going to do the same thing on the back of this one. So we're going to put our adhesive. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this flap up, and again we're going to line it straight up here, and I'm going to place it down on my surface and make sure it's straight and hold it until it sets. Now we're going to do the front flaps. We did the back flaps, now the front flaps. We'll start with this one. Again, I'm going to slide that in there. I'm going to hold it in place, make sure that it's straight right here in the front. And now this one, I'm going to go ahead and put this tab in. I'm going to put glue on it while it's inside here. I hope you can see. I really apologize, guys, for moving my camera. I'm still tickled with myself for doing that. Oh, so sorry about that. Hey, if you can't be real, you might as well not be on live video, because definitely I am not blooper free. Okay, so now our front pieces are in. And this is our back pieces. So now we're going to glue all of our wood grain onto our box. We're going to start with the top, and we are going to place this piece on here. Isn't this paper gorgeous? It's also going away. It's a gorgeous, huge pack of paper. It is on clearance, so it is on last chance. It is discounted, and get your hands on it. It's called, oh, now the name of it, of course, is like out of my head. Let me think. Give me a few minutes while I'm gluing these pieces down, and I'm going to try and get my brain in order so that I can think of what it's called. It might be called In Good Taste. I think it is. I think it's In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So the top is the only thing. These flaps are not going to get anything because they're going to get tucked in. So there's the front. Isn't that beautiful? This paper is stunning. So now we're going to do the 4 sides of the box, okay? So we have these, and I'm going to share the dimensions. So the top piece is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then we have these side pieces, and we need 4 of those. They're 1 inch by 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and put them onto my silicone mat. I'm going to put adhesive on all of them, and then I'm just going to pick them up one at a time and put them onto my box. All of our Designer Series paper is double-sided. Most of it anyway. Sometimes I think they come up with some that isn't, but this one's double-sided. And so what's nice is that you have options. You can use the wood grain side, or you can use this other side that we're covering up right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on the side here. So I just want to make sure that it's kind of centered and that it has about the same border around. You can only do your best, right? Life's not perfect. And this is a handmade project, so it's not going to be perfect, but who cares? It's about the fun. So we'll put this one in the back. I'll lay that into place. I like to use the wet glue when I do my 3-dimensional because I like that I can wiggle it around a little bit before it sets, and I can really make sure that it is in place where it needs to be. Let's grab our next one. Put this one on the front here. We will wiggle it into place. And that looks pretty good. And our last piece. So again, these were 1 by 2 3/4 inch, and then the top piece of the Designer Series paper was 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. The rest of the pieces, I just used scraps from my stash, so I don't really have dimensions for you. But there's our box. We're gonna put our sides in and our front tab. And there it is, nice and flat. It fits perfect. I'm gonna grab some Ferrero Rochers in a minute. We're just gonna let it sit here to the side, and we're gonna do some stamping. So we're going to stamp our bear, and this is a piece of Sahara sand, which is the color of the cardstock that I used. I didn't tell you that earlier, but it's Sahara sand. And I also stamped this little ground piece. It's a stamp that does the ground. I stamped it in soft suede directly onto the piece of Sahara sand, so it came out nice and dark. Now there's a trick to getting your bear lighter. And you could stamp off, I suppose, but you may not get a nice full coverage image because it may be modeled based on how much pressure you push down. And it is kind of a larger stamp, so it is hard to get even pressure when you press down on it. So I'm going to teach you a way that you can get a lighter color with a darker ink. And let me finish cutting this, and then I will show you. We're going to put our stamp. We're going to use the same color of ink that we used here for this ground. Just set that to the side. We're going to stamp our bear here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our soft suede ink pad, and we're going to use our blending brush. We're going to rotate it in here, and we are going to deposit that ink directly onto our bear stamp, and we're just going to go over the entire image. I'm going to do that about 3 times. Make sure that you get all his feet, his ear, his nose. One more time. And we're gonna grab some more, and we're gonna just deposit a little bit more, maybe a fourth time. All right. I just wanna make sure that he's nice and colored. See, that's what he looks like. So now we can move our ink pad out of the way. And we're gonna stamp him down onto this scrap piece of Sahara Sand cardstock. I'm gonna try and put even pressure. He's kind of, like I said, a big stamp, so he's hard to stamp down. But there he is. And you see how he turned out lighter than stamping directly onto the ink. So let's go ahead and clean him before I fussy cut him out, because I will make a mess and stick my hand in him, and then I'll have a mess everywhere. So I'm actually gonna pick up my chamois and bring it to my stamp. He's kind of large, and sometimes it's harder to clean the little nooks and crannies on these larger stamps. So I just like to pick up my chamois. This is a stamp case anyway that it's in. It does not come with a stamp case. You have to purchase that if you want to put it in there. All right, so there is our bear. We have our ground. Let's trim him out. He's super easy. Oh, I wet him. See, my fingers were wet. Let's try again. Oh, I hate that I did that. Okay, we're gonna do one more time. Sorry, guys. I will try and speed through this, so it doesn't delay us too much. And when I clean him next time, I'll be careful that my hands are dry before I pick up my stamp. All right, sorry about that. Luckily, every sheet of paper has two sides. It looks like if something can go wrong, it's gonna go wrong today. First, my camera goes flying. There we go. All right, let me clean him, and I will make sure my hands are dry before I touch that. Again, I'm gonna put that off to the side. We'll rub most of the ink into our chamois, and then I will use the corners here to clean him up. The chamois are nice and wet, but they hold their moisture nice. I keep it in a stamp case so that it doesn't dry out when I'm stamping. But you can let it air dry at night, and then next time you go to stamp, you just wet it again, even though it gets hard. Let me make sure my hands are dry before I touch my bear this time. Oh boy. Okay, so let's go ahead and fussy cut him out. That wasn't too much longer, just a couple minutes maybe. Sorry about that. So we're gonna go ahead and fussy cut around him. We're just gonna leave a little border all the way around him of this Sahara Sand. He is very easy to cut out because he's such a large stamp. And there's really no intricate parts or pieces to him. He's just a big guy, and there's no, like, you know, grass underneath him or anything. He's just, even his legs are not real thin or skinny, so this is the hardest part, is getting around his legs, and it's not even that hard. So we will work our way around, and once we get to his back, we're in the home stretch, because you just have to follow the curves, and that's it. Come up, dip down a little, go around his ear, and come down around his head and his nose, and that's it. He is done. All right, get rid of all these little tiny perfection marks. They're little pieces of scrap paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and put him down. We're gonna, I'm gonna grab the Ferrero Rochers. I do purchase those in at a warehouse club, so I have lots of them. So I can make plenty of these, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull 4 of these out. There we go. So it's nice to have these big boxes. They come out at the warehouse clubs in these largers. And when you finish them, you can fit your Stampin' spots in there, the little mini 1x1 inch ink pads. So it's perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close my box, and then we're gonna decorate the outside. So we're going to attach the bear's feet onto the ground, and then we're gonna attach the whole piece together. So we're gonna use our wet glue, and we're just gonna put a little bit on each of his feet down here. And we're gonna put them, I think I want it this way. I'm gonna place the paws onto that surface like that. All right, so now that we have him attached to that ground, we can use our dimensionals. We want him to be popped up off of our box. Let's put one there, we'll put one on this foot here. And then I'm gonna use the minis to finish up on this long piece because I definitely want it to be supported. Put one there, I'll put one here. All right. So let's use our take your pick tool. We're going to pull the backs off. You can only fit so many before you have to purge them off into the trash and then continue. All right, I got them all now. We're going to attach him onto the top of our box. He's so cool. Isn't he cool? Oh, I love this bear. He's so beautiful. All right, so there he is, onto the top of our box. Now we're gonna do this front decoration. It says, to a great guy. So I have already cut out and stamped. I had to stamp it so that it would, when I put it onto my layering circle, which is this one, let me show you. And it's the second smallest. So when I cut it out to fit inside of this really cool jagged circle, it would be centered. So what I did was I stamped first and then I die cut it out. So we're going to go ahead and attach that into the center of our circle here. Perfect. And then on the inside, I have, it says, for all the great things you do. And I've already die cut out this label, and it's this one right here. Remember that Tasteful Labels dies are on last chance. So if you want that, get your hands on it soon, because I don't know how long it will last. So we're gonna hit for all the great things you do. We're gonna stamp that. I'm gonna bring it down here close to the bottom where I couldn't see. All right. That looks pretty awesome. That one, I didn't have to worry so much. It was a little bit bigger, whereas the circle I had to fit right in there. So that's why I stamped it before I die cut it. All right. Let's go ahead and get some dimensionals on the back of, I'll do 4 of those. And then we're gonna put on the bottom, we're gonna put one here and one next to it, because part of it's gonna stick up past the box. We don't want to see those dimensionals. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the backs off of all 6 of these. So on the inside, we're gonna put our rectangle, or rectangular with the rounded corner pieces or indented pieces. I don't know what you want to say, but it's a nice surprise on the inside, I think, to have that in there. And then the to a great guy, make sure I have that over where it needs to be. I want it to be at the bottom. That's going to go down here, and we just want to make sure that it is sticking up. I'm going to actually sneak another one back behind there, because it needs a little bit more stability. There we go. Now it looks awesome. Say to a great guy for all the great things you do. Now I'm going to tie a bow. This is our Essentials, Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and you get 5 different colors, all neutrals. It's gorgeous. Check that out. I will link in the description below so that you can. I'm going to tie this cool twine bow. I like my bows to be rather small, so once I have made them, I kind of pull on them and get them to be the size that I like the loops to be. Let me make this one just a tiny bit smaller, this one as well, and then I'm going to pull them tight so it keeps that piece. Now I'm going to use a mini dimensional, I mean not a mini dimensional, a mini glue dot. Oh boy. And I'm going to roll it up into a little ball because the twine is so fine. I don't want it to be sticking out. And I'm actually going to put it back behind that knot. And then I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to glue it right in this corner. And I am going to make sure that it sits up there nicely. This piece I'm going to wrap around, and this one I'm just going to let dangle. Just like that. I think that looks really pretty, don't you? So that's the inside. Let's close our box. And just get it set in place. There we go. Let's close our original, or let's leave that one open so you guys can see both. I hope that you enjoyed watching me put this box together. It's fairly simple and fun. You can give a gift to a great guy that you know, these 4 Ferrero Rochers, thanking them for something that they've done for you. It's a great gift for a dad because dad's always doing extra things, and hubbies or boyfriends or significant others. Anyway, I appreciate you watching me. Thank you so much. And if you've stayed to the end, thank you for doing so, even with all the shaky camera. Ask your friends to subscribe, and you subscribe as well. Comment, share, and like my video. I would be very grateful. It helps me to grow my channel and bring you more content. Check out my blog at inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I do blog every day, and I like to bring you lots of inspiration, so I do blog 7 days a week. Check it out, and in the links are in the description below for everything that I use to make this products. Thank you for watching. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!